Hello, my name is Nisarg, and this presentation analyzes PetroChina's operations and their alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Here's an overview about the company. PetroChina is one of the world's largest oil and gas companies and is a key player in the global energy sector. As a state-owned enterprise in China, it's listed on both the New York and Hong Kong stock exchanges. The company's core activities include the exploration and production of oil and gas, refining, and the production and sales of petrochemicals. PetroChina plays a critical role in the global energy market. It has publicly committed to contributing to sustainable development, aligning its corporate strategies with various SDGs, and has undertaken various initiatives to enhance its environmental performance and social responsibility. SDG number 7, Affordable and Clean Energy. Current performance. PetroChina has a significant investment in oil and natural gas, with increasing investments in renewable energy sources but still heavily reliant on fossil fuels. The company has implemented some measures to improve the efficiency of its operations, such as upgrading equipment and optimizing processes. Let's look at some gaps now. Despite progress, the dominant portion of energy production and consumption within PetroChina is still heavily fossil-based, which conflicts with the transition to affordable and clean energy sources. The proportion of renewable energy sources in PetroChina's portfolio is low compared to global benchmarks set by leaders in the energy sector who are aligning with SDG 7 targets. Some recommendations are to aggressively scale up investments in solar, wind, and bioenergy. Implement company-wide programs to reduce energy consumption per unit of output, specifically in refining and chemical operations. SDG 9, Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure. Current performance. PetroChina has been involved in building substantial infrastructure including pipelines and refineries with advanced technologies. Investments in technologies for improving hydrocarbon recovery rates and reducing environmental impacts. Let's look at some gaps. Limited application and development of carbon capture utilization and storage technologies which are critical for reducing carbon dioxide emissions in the oil and gas sector. While infrastructure is being developed, the sustainability aspect of this infrastructure can be enhanced. Actions to address gaps. Develop and expand carbon capture and utilization storage technology across operations to mitigate environmental impacts. Focus on building green infrastructure that aligns with environmental standards and promotes sustainability. SDG 13, Climate Action. Current performance. Some efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions through operational efficiencies and methane leak reduction. Implementation of policies aimed at minimizing environmental impacts of its operations. Gaps with SDG 13. Total greenhouse gas emissions remain high due to the scale and nature of operations. Lack of a comprehensive climate action strategy that aligns with the Paris Agreement goals. Actions to address gaps. Define and pursue ambitious greenhouse gas reduction targets, aiming for net zero emissions by a specific year. Develop strategies to manage and mitigate climate-related risks across all operations. Here are some implementations of the recommendations that we discussed. The first one, integrated SDG planning. Develop a strategic plan that integrates SDG targets directly into business operations and decision-making processes at all levels. Stakeholder engagement. Collaborate with government agencies, industry partners, and communities to align efforts and leverage synergies in achieving SDG targets. Monitoring and reporting. Establish robust mechanisms for tracking progress against SDG targets, including regular reporting and third-party audits. Last but not the least, innovation and research. Invest in R&D to drive innovations that align with SDG targets, specifically in clean energy technologies, emissions reduction techniques, and sustainable infrastructure development. Thank you.